From the moment Captain Velter received that transmission, the bridge of the stellar harmony became a maelstrom of activity. Her crew were some of the brightest minds in the Aquarian collective, but even their considerable talents weren't enough to solve all the problems posed by contact with a new species. There were too many variables, too many unknowns. Fortunately, the humans were willing to help. As the Wanderer's Dream pulled alongside the stellar harmony, a small shuttle separated from the larger vessel, streaking toward the Aquarian ship at high velocity. The Aquarian collective preferred more subtle forms of transportation, so the sight of a brute force vessel hurtling toward them was alarming. At least until they learned the shuttle was piloted by an AI construct. With the grace of a dancer, it extended a literal hand and stabilized itself next to the stellar harmony. A ramp lowered between the ships, and the crew of the Aquarian vessel watched as the human explorers emerged into the open void. Captain Mitchell stepped forward, holding out a hand in greeting. Her face was weathered, her features worn smooth by solar winds and countless meteor showers. Her eyes were bright with curiosity. "Welcome aboard," she said. "I'll start off by saying that my crew is honored to meet you." She gestured behind her, and the rest of the human crew stepped forward. Elena Mitchell, captain of the Wanderer's Dream, Kato Ito, Shifumeko Sato, Junpei Tanaka and Jin Wan, all members of the Human Galactic Union, United Earth Forces, and all current affairs experts in their respective fields. "It is an honor for us to make contact with you as well," Captain Velter responded, extending a sensory tendril toward the humans in greeting. "But why are you contacting us?" Captain Mitchell smiled sadly. "There are many reasons. For centuries, we've kept to ourselves, hoping to avoid involvement in the galactic politics that seem to always lead to war. But we can no longer stand idle while the dream of the ancients is betrayed." "Dream of the ancients," Navigator KX echoed, stepping forward. "What do you mean?" "We mean the dream of peace," Captain Mitchell replied. "The hope that we could build a galaxy together free of war, poverty, and hate. And we see you betraying that dream. We've seen your reports about the deterioration of relations between the Aquatic Collective and the Scion Empire. So we came to offer our aid. Perhaps our experience will help you to resolve your conflict without resorting to war." Captain Velter recoiled slightly. She did not like being lectured by a species that was barely more advanced than her own. "Our conflict with the Scion Empire has been building for centuries," she said tightly. "And we have no need for your interference." "We're not interfering," Captain Mitchell countered. "We're offering assistance. If you wish to accept it, you will allow us to join you in your dispute. If not, we will leave you to your folly." Captain Velter knew she couldn't match the human centuries of interstellar experience. She took a deep breath. "Very well. We will accept your aid. But how can you help us? Your technology is thousands of years behind ours. Your combat capabilities must be pathetic." "You misunderstand our purpose," Captain Mitchell said calmly. "We're not here to fight your wars. We're here to prevent them. What we lack in technology, we make up for in experience. Tell us what led you to this point, and we'll tell you how to fix it." On the bridge of the Wanderer's Dream, Captain Mitchell shared the story of the Aquarian Collective and the growing threat from the Scion Empire. As she spoke, the faces of her crew grew grim. They had expected some resistance from the Aquarians, but not this much. The xenophobic nature of this species was disheartening, especially coming from a group so advanced. Even the most stubborn of species had learned to overcome such base instincts by now. And yet the Aquarians were still clinging to their superiority. When the story ended, a heavy silence blanketed the bridge. Finally, Captain Mitchell broke it. "The solution to your problem is simple. You need to talk." "Talk," one of the Aquarian officers scoffed. "The Zionists have already tried that. Nothing good ever comes of diplomacy with them. They only understand the language of power." "Then that's what you have to give them," Captain Ito said softly. "Show them the strength of the United Galaxy. Stand together with your allies against the Zionists and let them know you mean business." "A show of force won't work," Captain Velter countered. The Zion Empire is armed to the teeth. Even if the entire galaxy stood against them, they wouldn't back down. They're bluffing, Captain Mitchell said quietly. The Zion Empire knows full well that the galaxy won't unite against them. They're counting on it. You just have to prove them wrong. The Aquarians stared at the humans in disbelief. Was this species really going to lecture them about galactic politics? They had to be careful. The last thing they needed was an interspecies incident. On the bridge of the Wanderer's Dream, Captain Mitchell and her crew explained their plan. The humans had a way of reaching the Zionists, a way that the proud aquatic collective could not. Captain Mitchell's a co-pilot had managed to track down an old communication relay that bypassed the galactic network. It was a long shot, but the humans believed it would work. If they could get a message directly to the Zion Supreme Chancellor, then maybe, just maybe, they could bring him to the negotiating table. The Aquarians were skeptical, but desperate times called for desperate measures. They agreed to let the humans attempt the long shot. And if it failed, they would unite their forces and strike a crippling blow against the cyborgs. Days turned into weeks as the humans worked to activate the relay station. All the while, the Aquarian collective kept a close watch on the Zionic Empire's movements. The tension was palpable as the possibility of war loomed ever closer. Then one day, the transmission came. From the relay station, a message went out across the stars to the Zion Empire, a message of peace. Captain Mitchell watched as the Aquarian officers gathered around the console, listening intently to the transmission. When it was over, they looked at the humans with newfound respect. "Thank you," Captain Velter said. "You have done us a great service." "We just helped you out, Captain," Captain Mitchell replied with a smile. "Now go out there and build that galaxy of peace we've been talking about." With the relay station secured, Captain Mitchell and her crew left the Aquarian collective to deal with the fallout. They had accomplished their mission and now it was time to move on. As the Wanderer's Dream disappeared into the starfield, the Aquarian officers watched, lost in thought. They had been so close to war, so close to destroying everything the galactic civilization had worked for. But the humans had come just in the nick of time. They had saved the galaxy from itself. In the aftermath of the Near War, the Aquarian collective emerged as one of the most powerful forces in the galaxy. They had proven their strength and their determination to protect their people. But they also realized that they had been wrong. They didn't need brute force to solve their problems. They needed diplomacy, understanding and above all, peace. The humans had shown them the way and the Aquarians vowed to follow it. News of the humans spread like wildfire throughout the galaxy. A new species, technologically primitive but culturally advanced, had arrived and they were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Stories of their wisdom, their courage, and their compassion reached even the most remote corners of the galaxy. And wherever those stories went, hope followed. Hope for a better future, hope for a brighter tomorrow, hope for a galaxy united.